Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm on location here at Wesleyan, Metropark, and it's a very small 62 acre just kind of green space. It has some community park features, of course, like a playground and stuff for the little kiddos or whatever, but there's a very small hiking trail, and that's kind of why the main reason why I'm here today. And probably the main feature really honestly is over here. It's called Beavercreek, and it's a very nice looking, very sizable creek. It's about the same kind of width, looks like, as the probably longer and larger Twin Creek, which is nearby as well, but it all flows from the same watershed and from the Great Miami River here. But I'm looking over here at this old railroad tracks, and has a bridge crossing, suspension bridge over top of just a little dip and kind of like a spillway into the Beavercreek over here. And I took some photos already, just using a neutral density 8 filter and a circular polarizer filter, just using a wide angle lens, of course, doing about 16 to 35 millimeters, keeping my aperture pretty consistent around about the I think about f18 range, just to get that really deep depth of field, so that all the entire water detail is in focus here. And the photos look great, honestly. Combined with the filters there, it just makes the white water that's flowing pretty well today on this very rainy day, makes them look really beautiful. And it's a very nice looking spot, kind of down there at the little, almost like beachside, which has got smooth pebbles and all that sorts. So it's been pretty nice. I'm actually up in this vantage point over here. I'm actually on this bikeway, kind of paved trail that's situated right next to the hiking trails. And I find this vantage point over here actually works out really well, because it crosses right over the Beavercreek here. And I'm just seeing as it flows downstream over here, and then over here is where, behind the camera here, let me turn around in a second, once I get a nice enough view. And I find that it's a nice little scene here, honestly. I could see like a nice, maybe foggy morning. Here you go. You can see that, hopefully. It's a nice little view of just the entire creek. It shows a nice flow down there as well, and then it shows that little old, not really little, but the railroad bridge, so that's pretty nice. And then over here behind me is it's like a parking lot, and the rest of the Beavercreek's down there. So yeah, it's been a pretty nice morning out altogether. The rain I've been having to really tackle pretty much after each exposure, which on average is about 8 seconds. I've been taking for all these long exposures of the water. I've had to wipe down my filters just because they keep getting wet, and the entire cameras keep getting wet. So as always, I brought an umbrella, which really helps. And it's kind of mild, not really too frigid of temperatures, but it is colder since it is still winter, but not cold enough to freeze over the rain and make it snow. But yeah, apparently this Wesleyan Metropark over here from what I read from the signage at least, used to actually be about 20 acres, which is pretty interesting. But they expanded it to now it's about, I think it said 55, but I've read 62 before. Not that really matters, but it's a pretty small little spot here that I very much enjoy, or have been enjoying so far. And I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the half of it. So far, I haven't really yielded any photos from checking out the hiking trail. As small as it was relatively flat, very easy. Anyone could pretty much do it, anyone capable enough. There wasn't any hills or anything dramatic, so very nice and easy. Just a nice little loop trail, and there's a few spurs off to the Beavercreek here that you could kind of just branch off and check out the rest of the creek. And so it looks like the rest of that, the hiking trail over there, looks like they planted tons of trees, or at least are in the process of doing that in recent years, hopefully to make a more kind of mature forest or woodland there, which is, I'm all for that, of course. But yeah, I really wasn't inspired to take any photos. There were some water droplets, and tree twigs and stuff that kind of caught my interest a little bit, just to make some macro photos. But overall, the entire landscape just has all these plastic covers that are making these trees. So it's good. It's good that they're doing that, of course, but I'm just saying I wasn't really too inspired to take any photos of that or anywhere in there. But definitely this water and the Beavercreek in general has been the highlight of this trip so far. There's very little small Metropark. Yep, this might be it, honestly, at least for what I'm thinking today, especially with this rain overhead. So this might be it, but we will see. There might be still another photo or two in this location, at least for today. So we will see. One thing that's readily apparent, I'm noticing, is just the almost cacophony of just bird song I'm hearing. So I feel like spring's it's really on the way. I'm starting to see at least photos online this time of year of different kinds of blooming wildflowers and different plants that are pretty much harbingers of spring that pretty much sell, the earliest ones at least for the season, that kind of bloom, especially with these really unseasonably warm temperatures and the very overall just wet winter we've had. It's just not surprised really that everything's kind of, just because it's almost like being tricked into, you know, coming up from the ground and blooming. So with all these warm, it's really weird temperatures, and just the weather overall has just been very strange. It's very unlike winter, but I mean, I guess that's okay. But yeah, I'm going along this hillside here over here. It's a beautiful trail, honestly. Overall the landscape is just, I see behind me, just the footpath, I guess. I don't know, it really leads your eye, photographically speaking. I just think it's I feel like it's a really underrated view of just the area around here. So colored me surprised. I wasn't sure what to really expect of this really small Metropark, but this actually might be one of my favorites, really. Might be one I'll have to check out again. I think I just heard a mallard. And here's two of them coming in. Yep. I don't know if you heard that. They're right down there behind me. They're sitting they landed in the Wolf Creek, obviously. So yeah, I'm gonna check out the woodland here, see if there's any photographable opportunities. I checked out this back half, the other side, next to what looks like kind of some rolling prairie, small kind of habitat on this little hillside over here. And as the map says over by the trailhead, or at the beginning, the entrance of the park, really, it says that there's a gravel pit, and you can kind of see where it's coming from. The little trail over here kind of just spans over, it kind of goes around this little woodland here, and because of all the rain and such, and the bare trees, you can really tell there's just tons of lichen on a lot of the bark there. Tons of little, you know, just tree branches and twigs and such that are just on there, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful stuff. Just thinking about doing some macro maybe, real quick here before I leave for the day. But I feel like that's going to be it for today. It's a very small Metropark, like I said, but the trails and the Wolf Creek, I mean, it makes it a real worthwhile visit to really check out. And the rain really adds a whole kind of different atmosphere, really, to the place, at least. All right, so thank you so much for watching, guys. It's been Wesleyan Metropark, and until next time, make sure to get out here. Thank you.